Let's talk football across Minnesota today with Chip Scoggins, Star Tribune columnist. Chip, how are you?
I'm doing great, Mikey. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. This might be the only time we ever talk about another Chip on this show. Chip
That's right.
Lohmiller is the subject of FAM this week. Obviously, former Gophers kicker, long NFL career, and now what is he up to?
Now and I can't pass up a chance to write about another Chip, obviously.
No.
But yes, Chip Lohmiller. I think most Minnesotans know him as Chip Lohmiller, the kicker. All Big Ten kicker for the Gophers. Hit a 62-yarder against Iowa back in 1986. All Pro kicker at Washington NFL. Won a Super Bowl with Washington here at the Metrodome, actually. But now he is Chief Lohmiller. He is fire chief of Cross Lake, Minnesota, up in the Brainerd Lakes area. He, when he retired from football in '96, he went almost immediately into firefighting. His dad was a fireman years ago, actually before he was born, and he felt that calling too. And he sort of was trying to figure out what he wanted to do post-football career. He became a head coach at Pequot Lakes High School and led them to a state tournament a couple times. He started a property management company, but he's really started out as a volunteer firefighter and just stayed with it, loved it, said he has a passion for it like he did football, and he's worked his way up to where now he's the fire chief in Cross Lake, and he has 25 paid on-call volunteers, so he's pretty busy.
Yeah, that's pretty unusual, right? Like I can't think of another case of hearing about that is the post-football career for somebody.
Yeah, and he's he grew up here in Woodbury, was an all-state kicker in Woodbury, but when he was in college, he had a teammate that had a cabin up in that area, in Cross Lake area, and a couple times they'd go up there in the summers or whatever, and he kind of fell in love with it. And his second season in the NFL, he came back and they were going up there again, and his friend said, "Hey, by the way, that property there is for sale." And so Chip bought the property and would spend his off seasons there, and so he resettled there once he got done playing football. That became his permanent home, and like he said, his dad was a firefighter, and I think it was just something he was kind of called to. And once he got involved with it, he said two things are kind of the commonalities that he found from his football career: one, the adrenaline rush, and two, the team aspect. And those two aspects really were prominent there in football, and as a football player, as an athlete, and now as a firefighter and fire chief. And so it kind of spoke to him, and he started his own company where he trains firefighters around the country, around Minnesota. I apologize. So he has 54 instructors, and he's in his truck a lot. He goes around. He said in the wintertime when there's more opportunities for doing it, him and his instructors have training seminars, 30 to 40 a week, all around the state. And so he's training a large number of the firefighters coming into that that vocation.
That's great. And you mentioned his 62-yarder against Iowa. I just happen to have that queued up, so let's watch that.
This will be a 62-yard field goal attempt with David Williams holding for him.
This place will come apart, even if it's close.
I'll tell you, he got it. Look at it. It is good!
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Funny story. I did a story on Chip Lohmiller when he became, I think, the Pequot Lakes head coach in the mid-2000s. I was doing that for the old page 2 at the Star Tribune, and I happened to be up there. We've got some family. Wife's got some family up in the Brainerd, Pequot Lakes area, so we went up there. Yeah. I arranged an interview to talk to him up there in person, and we arranged it to meet at it was a restaurant bar kind of in the area, and it happened to be when the Gophers Michigan game was on in 2005, and Gophers win that game on a last-second field goal. I'm trying to remember who the kicker was for the Gophers at the time.
Jason Gianni.
Is that who it was?
Gianni.
Okay, and
is that right? Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember who it was. That might be it. It was somebody I can't remember. It was the game that I think Big Gary Russell sets up the game-winning field goal, and it was I'm sitting there with Chip Lohmiller, who was the last kicker to beat Michigan with a last-second field goal for the Gophers before that. And I'm just like, wait a minute, Did you just see that? Like we're sitting, so I ended up doing like a separate piece on the coincidence of sitting with Chip Lohmiller. Had nothing to do with the reason we were talking. It just happened to be on while we were there talking. So he was a good dude.
That Iowa, sorry to interrupt you, that Iowa kick came a week after the Michigan kick. So
is that right? Yeah, I knew it was the same year. I didn't realize it was right after that. But good dude. I'm glad to hear he is having such an impact in his post football life. Chip, really quick, what else was in FAM? Who got your game balls this week? What else
game balls this week. Blake Cashman, unbelievable yesterday. Vikings linebacker. He was everywhere, made plays everywhere. Darius Taylor, Gopher running back, showed his versatility, had an 80-yard run that really broke that game over. Nick Thien, Pine Island. How about this guy? 4 total touchdowns. He had a kickoff return, 96-yard kickoff return, 2 running touchdowns. He caught a touchdown pass. And let's give it up for Drew Habner, the Morris High quarterback. He threw 5 touchdown passes Friday night to set a new school record there for career touchdown passes. He has 47, so congratulations to him.
Very nice. Actually took the family out. We saw some Friday Night Lights this week, went to the Egan Rosemount game. Egan looked pretty good. Egan's pretty good, so watch out for them this year. They looked really good down in Rosemount. Fun atmosphere. It was like packed, beautiful night, sunset in the background. It was everything you could want for on a Friday fall night. It's going to get chillier. It's not has not been chilly for a football Friday yet, but it's going to get chillier. And Chip Scoggins, appreciate it. Keep reading Chip's stuff, the FAM column every week. Football across Minnesota. Chip, we'll talk to you again next week.
All right. Thanks, Mikey.